What? Wow, this thing's quick. All right, guys, so for today's video, this is my setup. I've got my GoPro Hero 7 mounted to the side window, which is the location I typically have it at when I'm shooting my videos. Then I have my Race Logic V-Box mounted to the windshield with my my secondary GoPro, a Hero 8, and mounted right behind it so we can get a good view of the screen. All right, doing some V-Box acceleration testing of the Mini Cooper. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So today you catch me back in the little Mini Cooper, and today I'm going to be doing some acceleration testing, and got the V-Box set up with my other GoPro aimed at the screen there. Hopefully this will all record properly. So I charged the car to 99%. It was going to take another 20 minutes or whatever to get that last percent. So 99% is plenty. And let's see here. I'm going to reset. Just reset everything for grins here. Let's see. There we go. Reset the trip odometer. All right. And I'm going to be testing the car in normal mode, in sport mode. I'm going to test it with dynamic traction control, which is traction control off, and with full traction control on, and see what I can get, what the difference is between all of those. So yeah, let's dig into it. All right, so this first test is going to be in normal mode with traction control fully on. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and get up to a spot here where it's nice and flat. I've got farm implements ahead of me here. All right, so this first test, traction control off and normal mode. So let's go ahead, see what we've got here. Zero to 60 shows 6.48 seconds. So let's turn around and we will do that again here. All right, so I'm going to come to a complete stop. 0, and here we go. All right, what do we get there? 6.48 seconds again. Pretty quick, actually, quicker than the car is normally rated for. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around, and we'll put it in sport mode. All right, come to a complete stop, and here we go. Let's see what we got here. 6.7 seconds. Let's try that again. Again, this is sport mode, normal traction control. So let's turn around and try that again. Here we go. .4 seconds, and I'm going to come to a complete stop and give it one last try, and then I'm going to turn around. .6 seconds it looks like. Now I'm going to turn traction control off, which is actually dynamic traction control. It doesn't actually turn the traction control off. It just allows a little bit of wheel slip. So we are in sport mode with traction control set to dynamic, which should be the most aggressive setting. So full and complete stop. Here we go. There's some wheel spin. Well, it felt stronger. Let's see, what did we get here? 6.5 seconds. I'm going to stop. Try that again. Traction control off, sport mode on. Here we go. No wheel spin. It's a little bit better traction in this part of the road, apparently. All right. So let's see here. 6.3 seconds. That's the best one yet. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around and repeat this yet again. Now let's come to a complete stop. Sport mode on, traction control off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. No wheel spin. It's pulling nice and strong. All right. Let's see what we got on that run. 6.3 seconds again. So yes, it definitely looks like that is the most aggressive. Now, just in case it's a warming up of the battery that's giving us this extra performance, I'm going to turn traction control off and go back to normal mode. So I'm now at mid mode, which is normal driving, and traction control off. And I'm going to turn the car around, and we're going to go ahead and repeat the test one last time to see if it makes a difference or not. All right, mid setting, traction control off, full and complete stop, foot to the floor. This one's not going to be good. It's spinning the tires, so we'll see, but it's spinning the tires. 6.7 seconds. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was spinning a little bit, even with the traction control was fighting. So this is a cleaner section of pavement. Here we go. Last test. Set for normal mode. Traction control on. Pulling pretty strong, but I definitely think it's going to be slower. Let's see here. Ah, 6.3 seconds. 6.3 seconds. So I think what's going on with this, if I had to analyze my thoughts on it, I think that what's happening is the battery's warmed up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and try this again. I'm going to turn traction control off and go back to sport mode. I do believe the battery's warming up. Maybe the tires are warming up as well. So let's give this one last try and see if we can beat 6.3 seconds. Oh, there's a car behind me now. I'm going to go ahead and pull over and let them by. There we go. So let's see here. Sport mode on, traction control off. 91% battery at this point. 3, 2, 1. .4 seconds. All right, so my conclusion on this, this is an interesting test. So I started at 99%, I'm now at 90%, and I've only driven, let's see here, 6 miles, and I've lost 9 miles of range because all I've been doing basically is flooring it. So the percent state of charge, as long as you're relatively high, doesn't make that big a difference with this car. However, or no matter what mode you're in, I do think there are a couple factors at play here. One, I think tire temperature as well as battery temperature makes a difference. But number two, this is just a better performing car than the car was originally rated for. And you know, what my wife and I did a bunch of research on this car. So when my wife and I purchased this car, we read up on it, and obviously, like you do before you buy pretty much any car, and we found that it was what the factory rates it at versus what testers, at least overseas in the UK, were getting from the car, didn't necessarily line up. And I have found that most electric cars are what they're rated for versus what they deliver is generally different. Now, sometimes it's to the plus, sometimes it's to the minus. This car is rated 0 to 60 at 6.9 seconds, at least that's what I could find. Initially, in its pre-release, it was said to be 7.3 seconds, 0 to 60. But I don't know if maybe the different tires affected it or what, but if it's got stickier tires or something. But the car is definitely faster and has longer range than rated. It's rated at 110 miles of range. There are a few UK testers that said that 98 miles of range looks correct. I don't know what they're talking about, because under normal driving, which for us, normal is kind of being a little sporty with the car, really. It's pushing it a little bit. It's you know, being aggressive with it on occasion, but just cruising around on occasion as well. It seems to deliver about 125 miles of range, but 140 miles of range if you're really not flooring it. Like for instance, if my wife's just running errands with the car, definitely 140 miles, 145 miles seems to be about the sweet spot as far as, you know, if it's not being driven in an aggressive manner. And so I'm very, very happy with this car. Now, sport mode and turning sport mode on and traction control off definitely makes the car feel faster, although as evidenced by today's test, it really isn't faster. It just makes the car feel faster. There's a more rapid throttle response and that kind of thing. But from an actual dead stop to full speed, foot to the floor, there really isn't a difference. So I do like sport mode, however, because it takes away the mushy feel of the accelerator pedal and gives you this immediacy. And my guess would be probably rolling on from like 30 to 50 or 30 to 60, sport mode would be quicker, just because you have, once you're rolling, you have a better response from the accelerator pedal. But again, 0 to 60, it makes no difference at all. And turning traction control off, if you've got enough traction, there is still, there's not enough power to break the tires loose. This car has pretty aggressive, sticky tires. And so those are my findings. Just so you know, it's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. It's dry weather conditions. I did tests on the same road, both going north and south, and saw 6.3 to 6.4 seconds, 0 to 60, which is really, really good from my perspective for such a small car. Definitely no complaints there at all. So I was using a Race Logic V-Box, which is a good high-end piece of test equipment. And yeah, definitely pleased with this car. Couldn't be happier. Yes, my Tesla is a better car. Yes, it's a faster car. This car was half the money and delivers more than half the fun. So bang for the buck, this car, for an EV, this car is awesome. So anyway, I think that wraps it up for me for today. Thanks guys for tuning in. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, please recommend this video and all that jazz. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. And as always, stay charged. Thanks a lot, guys. You have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.